Simon says, gosh, yeah, I love you. Well, the thing is, in Greek, there's a bunch of different words for love. In the New Testament, they primarily use three. One is eros, that's kind of a romantic love. The other one is philia, that's kind of a friendship or a marriage, kind of a commitment kind of love. You to me to you, all of the important people in our lives. And the third one is agape. And that's usually described in God's love for us. A strength, a commitment, a depth that is so strong. And when Jesus asks Peter, do you love me? The first two times he says, do you agape me? Do you love me? Do you love me with the strength of this commitment? And Peter says, yeah, buddy, I love you. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I love you. And Jesus goes, no, do you love me? Agape me. And Peter goes, yeah, I love you. I love you and I'm committed to you. And then the third time, he says the same thing. And that used to catch me and trip me up a little bit, but then I realized this. It wasn't that long before that Jesus said, greater love has no one than this, he that laid down his life for his friends. So when Peter said, yes, I love you with this commitment love, I love you with my friendship love, he was saying, I'm in, it's sealed, I'm done. And I'd like to think that it'd be that easy that we just go, yeah, God, I love you, and so we're good, right? We're cool. But the great part of the story, the best part of the story, is the next thing that Jesus says to him. It's amazing. So they go through do you love me? Yeah, I love you. Tend my sheep, feed my sheep, take care of my lambs. So Jesus is always saying, go help other people, be bigger than yourself. But then he takes them back to this. He goes, Peter, when you were young, you dressed yourself and you went where you wanted. But when you are old, three things are going to happen. And this is what I want you to hear today. Because I think when we walk on the other side of the cross, this is what it means to do this. He said three things are going to happen. When you are old, when you are ready to be mature, when you are ready to live fully, these three things will happen. One, you will stretch out your hands. Well, I don't always know what that means. But I know that if I stretch out my hands and I go like this feels very vulnerable. I think Jesus is saying, live a life that's vulnerable. Live a life that's honest and that's exposed. Take all of you that's good and all of you that's not so good and go, I'm just going to live it and live it well and live it fully. Live an exposed life. The second thing he says is, someone else will dress you. Someone else will dress you. I didn't know what that meant. When I thought about it, I was like, well, sometimes we dress ourselves in things that aren't right, that aren't appropriate. Sometimes we believe lies about ourselves and we live carrying those things. I think in Jesus' first encounter with Peter, where he renamed him, where he said, you're not so much Peter. I see deeper, I see bigger, I see better. You are the rock. Jesus redressed him. Jesus dressed him in something new that was bigger than he even had dreamed for himself. So what are the things that we dress ourselves in? It might be a history, your history, something you've done or things that you've done that you aren't so proud of, but for some reason you hold on to those things and you go, this is who I am, this is who I am. It might be a name that somebody called you. It might be a lie that you believe. There's a lot of names that we take on that we shouldn't. There's names that aren't so great. Some of them are broken. Some of them are hurt. Some of them are diseased, hated. All of these things. These are things that I think God looks at us and goes, really? Is that how you want to live? That might be this much of you. But when I look at you, I see bigger, and I see better, and I see different. So are you ready to take whatever the name is that you believe that you are, and get rid of that, release it to Him, and let Him redress you in the new name, in a more beautiful name? A name like loved, a name like healed, a name like forgiven. Are you ready for that? The biggest name that I want you to hear is this. I believe that when God looks at us, He goes, yeah, I know your name. But mostly I want you to know that your name is beloved. You are my beloved. Can you live life knowing that you are God's beloved, that you're created in His image? That means you're holy. That's scary. That means you're pure. That means you're forgiven and forgiver. That means you're healed and healer. You are the beloved. And then the last thing He says is, stretch out your hand and someone else will bless you, and then lead you where you don't want to go. That means something different for each one of us. For some, that I've got to go back to school. I need a different job. There's a relationship that I want to go back and offer forgiveness to, or a relationship I need to go back and I need to receive the forgiveness from. It ends a bunch of different things. But if there's something in your heart that goes, be scary as heck to go there. But I trust God. I trust that He knows and believes that I'm the beloved. And I trust that He's good and He's going to carry us through it. So if you're ready to walk differently, if you're ready to walk on this side of the cross and fill these new shoes, you take baby steps and you trust knowing that you are God's beloved. Amen.